Caught off guard, as millions of people poured into the streets and public squares of the Arab world, the Obama administration faltered.
The United States has a close partnership with Egypt.
President Mubarak has been very helpful.
And we've cooperated on many issues.
Equating between the dictators and the dictated.
I would not refer to him as a dictator.
But we're not picking between those on the street and those in the government.
Everybody wants a yes or no answer to what are very complicated issues.
And hedging its bets on authoritarian rulers and opposition parties alike.
We call on all parties to exercise restraint.
Those protesting in the streets have a responsibility to express themselves peacefully.
These are decisions to be made within Egypt by the Egyptian people. It is not for the United States to anoint.
And even when millions crowded Maidan al-Tahrir or Liberation Square, the Obama administration remained caught in the headlights.
There are deep grievances within Egyptian society.
And continued to play catch-up.
An orderly transition must be meaningful, it must be peaceful, and it must begin now.
The United States, in this case, was surprised, taken aback.
What we've seen is a gradual, incremental change in tone as the administration has played catch-up with events in Egypt, which frankly I think have gone much faster, much more swiftly, much more dramatically than virtually anyone expected.
The Arabs have long been invisible to Washington, preoccupied with controlling the flow of oil, fighting communism, controlling Islamist movements, and supporting Israel.
The strategic interest in the Arab world is oil, Israel, and some form of stability where the flow of oil is not interrupted.
When America opposed the British and French colonial powers in Suez in 1956, it was supposed to be the beginning of a rosy post-colonial relationship with the Arab world. Alas, all too soon, America was seen as replacing colonialism with a new form of imperialism, supporting authoritarian regimes and defeating secular nationalists from Egypt's Nasser to Iraq's Saddam Hussein.
Dictatorship, authoritarian regimes are basically corrupt, oblivious to change, and oblivious to the interests and the rights of the population.
U.S. foreign policy has been obsessed with Israel, right or wrong.
Now let me be clear. Israel's security is sacrosanct.
The Israel-Arab conflict is the axis of Arab-American relations.
The U.S. then turned its attention to the threat of so-called radical Islam, from Iran to Algeria to Lebanon and Yemen. In 2001, terrorism became the overarching priority. Arabs were once again marginalized by America's greater Middle East strategy. The Egyptian-born Al-Qaeda leader Ayman Zawahiri captured the headlines against the backdrop of mounting oppression in Egypt and the Mubarak regime cracking down on peaceful opposition under the pretext of the war on terror, promoting the idea of his son's succession at the heart of the republic. And when Washington began to speak of spreading democracy and freedom,
60 years of Western nations excusing and accommodating the lack of freedom in the Middle East did nothing to make us safe.
It was merely to justify U.S. military intervention in the region, making deals and embracing authoritarian regimes, ensuring their allegiance to Washington's war on terror and its sponsored peace process, with Egypt playing a key role on both fronts. The Obama administration pursued more of the same, preferring stability to democracy, albeit propped up by brute force.
The price of stability in many instances has been stagnation. Social, political, economic stagnation, impoverishment of the people.
Now those chickens are coming home to roost.
It's going to take a very long time to undo the damage that has been performed over a very long period.
With the genie out of the bottle, is it finally time for a change the Arabs can believe in.